Is MechWarrior 4 Vengeance a straight-laced slugfest or a wonderfully weird artifact from that pre-Steam epoch when LAN party meant dragging CRTs through dorm hall fire doors? Both, obviously. One minute the game is serving up grand opera political intrigue, Reactor online, monarchy offline. The next it's letting you drunken giraffe dash a 65-ton Uziel through a pine forest while bitchin' Betty calmly warns, heat level critical. Underrated or overhyped? Ask a stranger whether Mad Cat is a sushi special or a 75-ton war god and you'll know your answer. Fundamental or forgettable? If a Pentium 3 ever melted inside your IKEA jerker desk because 3 PPCs detonated simultaneously, vengeance is gospel. If the phrase clan ER large draws a blank, it's vaporware. Yet here we are, 25 years later, still quoting Betty at parties. Don't pretend you don't. That's not nostalgia, that's imprinting. Historical context. The year 2000 was a crowded carnival midway. Diablo 2 chain lightning the ARPG crowd, Counter-Strike 1.0 spawning tales of espresso-fueled all-nighters, and Microsoft Game Studios dead set on flexing DirectX 8 like a cybernetic bicep. The BattleTech license, already 30 rulebooks deep and hotter than a Clan ER PPC, was Microsoft's ticket to serious simulation street cred. FASA Studio, nay Interactive, pitched a sequel that would keep Grognard's flight sticks happy while smoothing enough edges to lure the mouse and WASD heretics. Lofty mandate aside, the devs were up against the Fedcom Civil War's own narrative clock. Katherine Steiner-Davion's palace coup in the tabletop lore dovetails into the game's soap opera briefings, turning every sortie into dynasty with particle effects. My personal timeline, late November 2000, EB Games Kiosk, a 17-inch Trinitron looping the intro cutscene, the Dresari estate vaporized, mech bays lighting up like a glam metal pyrotechnics test, and composer Dwayne Decker's guitars headbanging beneath a mock Gregorian choir. I'd just spent the previous weekend hogging a virtual-on cabinet at the mall arcade. Suddenly the prospect of piloting a 35-ton Cougar from my own beige tower PC felt downright civic duty. I slapped down birthday money faster than Betty could intone. Sensors online. Within Microsoft's 2000 portfolio, Vengeance sat between Age of Empires 2 The Conquerors and Crimson Skies. History lesson, diesel punk dogfights, stompy robo knights. Curator approved variety or corporate identity crisis? Answer, yes. Marketing leaned into joystick culture rather than bundling an actual gamepad. Sidewinder rebates dangled like coolant in front of a heat-spiked Mad Dog, reinforcing the idea that real mech warriors grip a stick, not dual analog nubs. And then there's our absurd through line, bitchin' Betty, the monotone cockpit AI whose deadpan alerts, ammo at 25%, life choices questionable, became the accidental mascot. Whenever plot or pathfinding wanders, just picture Betty chiming in with managerial indifference and everything snaps back into focus. Mechanics, boot the game, and the mantra rolls off faster than Pavlov's dinner bell. Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal. From that moment, Vengeance is an armored ballet equal parts Newtonian mass, heat strategy, and Saturday morning cartoon swagger. The vanilla roster gives you just over 21 distinct chassis, from the spry 35-ton Cougar to the stadium seating Atlas, with color-coded weapon hardpoints that finally rein in the anything-goes grocery bag loadouts of MechWarrior 2 and 3. Restriction breeds creativity. Squeezing twin PPCs and an LRM-10 into a Cougar feels like assembling Lego Technic while the table is on fire. Rewarding, chaotic, and faintly sadistic. Why yes, I did spend 3 nights perfecting that build. Why do you ask? Those hardpoints aren't cosmetic, they're baked into the chassis data, forcing you to weigh uptime against Alpha Strike dreams. Want a ballistic cannon? Better pick a mech with bronze-coated slots, champ. The system is elegantly brutal, and the manual brags about it like a proud parent at Robot Soccer. Salvage returns, but leaner. Cripple an Argus without coring at CT, and you might score a free Ultra AC/5 in the post-mission tally. A dopamine rush, second only to Diablo's Golden Ring. One Kentares Op even dangles a Steiner depot full of assault-class goodies against a humanitarian rescue. Any ethics you cling to melt faster than your heat sinks. Sorry, refugees, my Lance needs new toys. The combat loop is heavyweight boxing spliced with artillery chests. Torso twist to let PPC capacitors cool. Stagger fire LRMs to fluff damage numbers. And only dare an alpha strike when coolant reserves won't flash boil. Yet FASA kept things juicy. Jump jets transform 60-ton bricks into low-orbit artillery. Torso lock moonwalks make even a Shadow Cat look like Michael Jackson in power armor. And hit spark particle effects throw a 4th of July rave on your HUD. Think Armored Core's spreadsheet fetish welded onto Rogue Squadron's mission pacing, then wrapped in Quake 3's sound design after a night at the Goth Club. Mission variety still slaps. Escort a snowbound convoy through canyon funnels, sabotage a dropship hull while its engines scream like angry espresso machines, slog through monsoon rain that gifts free cooling but scrambles sensors harder than a cyberpunk omelet. Betty, ever snide, whispers sensors impaired. Did you pack an umbrella, Commander? In a tone that suggests she already knows the answer. Multiplayer, via Microsoft's now fossilized Zone.com, capped lobbies at 16 and turned every urban map into laser tag with war crimes. Capture the Flag became rugby for giant robots. King of the Hill devolved into mech stacking Jenga. Someone always whiffed an LRM salvo into friendlies because target lock is for clanners. 80 ping latency never sounded so glorious. A quick correction to my own decades-old dorm tall tales. If you remember piloting an Oler on launch day, your brain's confusing timelines. The Kit Fox, Oler, didn't stride onto the field until the Black Knight expansion in 2001. Day 1 light mech heroes had to settle for the Cougar or Osiris. No shame, those little speed demons can torso dance circles around a catapult if you manage heat like a sous vide chef. Legacy and influence. Why doesn't Vengeance hog shelf space in greatest of all time retrospectives alongside Half-Life or Deus Ex? Timing. Its own siblings cannibalized the spotlight. The 2001 Black Knight add-on injected 5 new chassis, extra narrative, and the aforementioned Uller. 2002's standalone Mercenaries bundled everything plus a dynamic economy model, making vanilla Vengeance feel quaint within 2 years. And in 2010, the fan collective MechTech secured Microsoft's blessing to distribute the whole shebang for free. Microsoft supplied legal clearance. MechTech supplied the bandwidth, enshrining the series as abandonware legends rather than ongoing SKU numbers. Yet design DNA lingers. Hardpoint weapon logic pops up in Piranha's MechWarrior Online loadout screen. Every modern weighty shooter that tracks limb damage. Dead Space's necromorph surgery, anyone? Owes a nod to mech arm blasting, and the lesson that accessibility needn't gut depth informed everything from Titanfall 2's Agile Exos to Armored Core 6's one more run tinkering. Vengeance also proved a sardonic AI narrator could become the show stealer years before GLA DOS shipped her first potato battery. Of course, the Battletech lore barrier keeps it niche. The game assumes you understand why Steiner scum cuts deeper than a Gauss slug, or why a Raven trash-talking an Atlas is comedy gold. Newcomers drown in acronyms faster than coolant leaks. PPC LB-10X XL engine. Some call that inaccessibility. I call it a rite of passage. Did we just become best friends? MechWarrior hazing slogan circa forever. Closing paragraph plus score. Quarter-century checkup. Polygon edges could slice bread. Dire wolf textures look painted in finger paint. And Windows ME support is now a cautionary punchline. But crank mission 3. Let Betty deadpan enemy detected. And the nostalgia reactor goes full Chernobyl. Sure, pathfinding lancemates sometimes treat cliffs like polite suggestions. And the revenge plot leaps from Shakespeare to Saturday morning melodrama in record time. Yet the planned tweak stomp salvage loop remains titanium strong. I slap MechWarrior 4 Vengeance with an 8.5 out of 10, or using Battletech damage codes yellow armor. Internal structure exposed but still alpha ready. Betty, clear my schedule. I've got heat sinks to overtax.